Hi everyone, welcome back to JPWHUTV. My name is John, your host as always. I hope you're all doing well. This video is the preview of the Aston Villa versus West Ham United Premier League game Monday night at 7:45 under the lights on Sky Sports. Before we go through that itself, because there's quite a lot to talk about, let's do a quick shout out to the channel sponsor, 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website. There's also an affiliate link for their England retro gear as well, because I've been doing a few England stuff over the last week or so. But within the West Ham section, you can purchase retro shirts from the 60s all the way through to the early 2000s, including the 1976 home kit, which inspired this season's home shirt, and also the 1980 FA Cup final kit, which inspired this season's away shirt as well. So there's also Admiral and Umbro West Ham colours inspired Admiral track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts, so go check those out. Any purchases made through either link in the description below will go to Isla's Fight for the next 16 purchases. We've now got over £20, which is great, but I want to send a lot more to the charity. So guys, and you'll feel better from making those purchases as well, knowing that 10% of what you purchase, there's no markup on the prices. They're just exactly the same as you would buy without the affiliate link. But 10% of what you purchase will go directly to Isla's Fight. So I know you guys will feel good for making that purchase. So as I said, this is the preview of the Aston Villa versus West Ham United game on Monday night at 7:45. I will be doing a live watch along with. I just want to thank everybody that joined in for the England game watch with games as well. Not as many as obviously the West Ham stuff, so there's still quite a clear divide between England and West Ham fans there, especially from this community. But thank you guys to everybody that has joined in for those two conversations. Very, very grateful for your support as always. Now, at the timing of this recording on the 12th of September, tonight represents the 14th anniversary of Marlon Harewood's hat-trick at 4-0 in 2005, the 4-0 home victory over Aston Villa on that very special Monday night. Will history repeat itself up at Villa Park this coming Monday night? We'll only have to wait and see. So let's talk about Villa itself. There's quite a lot to go into, because I've been keeping quite a close tabs on Villa because I do like them. I think they were a very, very good side when they were up in the Premier League, and they're looking very strong again now, albeit not with the best of runs, which I'll come into in a moment. But at the end of the 2017-18 season, Villa reached the Championship final, but were beaten by now relegated Fulham from the Premier League. They were beaten by Fulham 1-0. But the following season, for the second season in a row, just like when we did back in 2003 to 2005, Villa went back to the Championship playoff final, but this time beat Frank Lampard's Derby 2-1 and got promoted. Random fact, because those that know me know my love of random information. Aston Villa are supported by my guitar hero Steve Craddock of Ocean Colour Scene and Paul Weller fame. I actually got to meet a lot of his family, and most of them are Villas, and it's Villa supporters, and they are very, very cool people. So Steve, if you're watching, hello mate. You're probably not, but if you are, you never know. You never know. You might peruse YouTube, having a look through and seeing, oh look, there's a video. There's a video about Villa. That's not easy to say quickly. Video about Villa, and maybe he's watching. If he is, cool. That'd be great, and it'd be nice to speak to him if he is. Now, just turning to the Premier League properly. Now, just like Norwich, we haven't played Aston Villa since February 2016. But of our last 6 matches with them within the Premier League, we've won 2, drawn 3, and lost 1. So is luck going to be on our side with this newly promoted team? We'll have to wait and see. They haven't had the best of starts this season, from one point of view, I suppose. With 1 victory and 3 losses in the Premier League, albeit quite admirable defeats, especially by Spurs at the opening day of the season, where they were 1-0 up and lost it 3-1. A 2-1 loss to Bournemouth at home as well in the second fixture, and defeated Everton 2-0 at home the week after. Now, the funny thing is about that was because the atmosphere was absolutely all over the Villa, as it would be for a home game, and as a result they got a decent result out of it. So we're gonna have to work that little bit harder to make our boys out sing the Villa faithful. which sometimes isn't a difficult ask, because our away supporters can be brilliant. They can be very, very loud, but you never know. As I say, I'm sure we'll be singing our hearts out as a lot. Now, obviously, the last two proper fixtures, they won 6-1 over Crewe Alexandra in the League Cup before losing 1-0, and being down to 10 men due to two yellow cards against Crystal Palace. Which is left, which meant that Mahmoud Hassan was sent off on was quite early on, if I remember correctly. Was it quite seconds? It was about 54th minutes in, I think, on the something like that. Anyway, according to PremierInjuries.com, as of the time of this recording, Aston Villa are without centre forward Jonathan Kodjia, I think he pronounced that, or Kodjia, or Godzilla maybe, due to a head injury, and there is no expected return for him as yet. But centre backs James Chester and left back Mark Targett are both out with thigh injuries, with potential return dates of the 25th and 22nd of September respectively. Now, obviously, we do struggle against Villa over the last few years, especially the last few fixtures. But one player I really think we need to be keeping an eye on is Jack Grealish. He's going to want to give the home fans something to get behind and try and get them that all important 3 points that they need, because they, at this stage of the season, they need it a little bit more than we do. Only a little bit, mind, but they do it. They do need it a little bit more than we do. Now, but also not just that, but Grealish has got a very, very good potential of giving Gareth Southgate even something to think about. He is a midfielder that can be very easily knocking on the door for an England call-up. He's a very good midfielder. He absolutely shone when he broke through when they were in the Premier League last time, and he's really shone through in the Championship games as well. And so far he's been giving players a bit of stick as well so far. But I reckon he could just mince it. You never know. You could just inch it in there, time at a time. Now, turning to West Ham, we obviously beat Norwich 2-0 just before the international break, with very good goals from Allaire and Yarmolenko. Especially Yarmolenko's very well needed, and love that celebration that he did running straight up to the medical team. Absolutely superb. Very, very heartfelt. And as I said to AJ, reminded me of when Jack Collison scored against Arsenal back in, what was it, about 7 years ago now, I think. We ended up losing 5-1 that night, but he scored and did the same thing, ran over to the physios and thanked them all for all the help they've been doing. It's nice to see that Yarmolenko's got that part of him in there as well. Now, everybody seems to be returning back, apart from Lanzini, who is going to be returning at some point tomorrow or today, Friday, depending on when you're watching this video. So I feel a bit sorry for him, because he's gone all the way out to America and back, and has only really played just over a quarter of an hour of international football for him, albeit the last game was a friendly. But still, it's I don't know. But I mean, could we see Fornals in the starting lineup as a result? We'll talk about that in a minute. Now, obviously, Antonio's put up on his Instagram account that he is very, very focused on his recovery from his hamstring surgery that he had the other week. But it looks like he's probably not going to be back until around about December, maybe the new year. Now, but also one of the interesting thing is, and X backed me up on this on the radio station, the radio podcast him and Dave Walker did yesterday, or Wednesday night, depending on when you're watching this, that Winston Reid could be returning back to the starting 11 squad soon. The first team squad, I should say, soon, because apparently, but this is the interesting thing, because apparently he could be back around about the last full week of this month. So that's very, very promising news from our point of view, having everybody bar Antonio available and back. It's very good, but at the same point, now we've discussed previously about Pellegrini with wanting a right back, a right-footed centre back and a left-footed centre back. Now Winston Reid is a right-footed centre back. So if in the next few weeks and months, when he gets back to resuming the fitness needed, is he going to be starting, or is he going to be giving Diop a run for his money? Again, we'll only find out over the next few weeks. But I think it's very, very good news that we've got that option to rely on. Now it's also great to see that Declan Rice is saying that he wants to come out. He wants to come out. He came out saying that he wants to continue his winning streak with both England and West Ham, because he's had 4 appearances, 2 for and we've had 4 games. He's played 2 for England and 2 for West Ham, and Rice has been unbeaten in all 4. So I'm very, very glad that he's come out with that mentality, and telling a lot of people on Twitter that's been trolling him recently about that, and just putting them in their place and saying, I'm not done yet by any stretch of the imagination. And I really admire him for that. He's really come out all guns blazing again, and I love Declan for that. So let's talk about the starting 11. Now, my starting 11, what I would pick is basically Fabianski in goal, Fredericks, Diop, Balbuena and Masuaku making up the back 4, with Rice and Noble as the holding midfielders, with Yarmolenko, Fornals and Anderson, and Allaire up front. Now, as I mentioned earlier about Lanzini only returning very late back from international duty, if he's not ready to do that, I would start Fornals in that position. I know a lot of people may say we put Wilshere in there, and it's a very, very good shout, if I'm honest. But for me, that's what I would do. And personally, I think that's exactly the same as what Pellegrini's going to do. I think Pellegrini's going to do that same lineup as well. But again, we'll have to wait and see and find out on Monday evening to find out exactly what that lineup is going to be. So thank you very much for your time, guys. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about the squad selection. Let me know, do you agree? Who would you have as your starting 11? And would you pick the same formation? And also, let me know what you think the score's going to be as well. I think this is going to be I think there's going to be goals in this. I'd love to say, I'm thinking either 3-1 or 3-2. To West Ham. I've got a funny feeling, or maybe even 2-1. I don't know. It's going to be difficult. We'll be back at Villa Park for the first time, as I said, in 3.5 years. The Villa fans are going to be really behind the boys, because they really want to make sure they get another win as quickly as possible. Of course, every fan does, and likewise, I want us to go out there and get a good win as well. But this is just a little bit of defensive woes in there, just worrying me a little bit. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for your time. If you're new around here, welcome. It's great to see you. If you like what I'm doing and you want to know more, then by all means, please click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get to know when new videos are being uploaded. As I said, put your comments in the comment section below. If you like the video and you feel I deserve it, then by all means, please click the like button that's down here somewhere. And also, please, if you didn't like it, click the dislike, and as I said, put it in the comment section and let me know why you don't like this video, because I'm happy to change and make any improvements that you guys want. So thank you very much for your time, guys. And also, please, by all means, share this video with anybody that you feel may not know about the channel yet and may like to be on board and join the 1117 people that are on board so far. Guys, thank you very much for all your support. I really, really do appreciate it. This channel wouldn't be anything without you guys. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your support, and I will see you on Monday evening. You take care now.